Hello builders, parents, and collectors. On this episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, it's another Model Monday, although I'm going to start calling these mock Model Mondays because I might do mocks and models depending on what week it is and what I'm up to. I basically want to do stuff I want to do, like the Lego sets. I mean, I do want to do the Lego sets, but they're kind of a constant thing. Well, I want to do my weekend build open, leave it up, whether I do a Lego mock or I do a model. So it might be Mock Monday now, or Mock and Model Monday. We'll call it Mock and Model Monday. MMM, triple M's. But we're going to do a model this week, and it's going to be this little guy here. They're part of the GFrame series. It looks this way because actually in Japan these are sold separately. You have to get the frame and then the armor. They package them together here in the US, and I believe in Japan these also come with candy in them as well. I'm not sure if these will, but we'll find out when we open it up. They're a little bit different, I think. I don't know what scale they are, considering the size of the box. It's probably smaller than 1/44 scale, so it's like no scale. No idea what. It doesn't really have a grade either, but I have not put one of these together. I'm curious to see how it goes and what all's involved with them. I have another one as well. I picked this one up at Barnes and Nobles, but you can find them at Target as well. Now, I don't normally post where I get this stuff. I don't put links because that's the problem with model kits. There's no really one good single place to find this stuff. There's a certain thing you're looking for, you gotta look around for it. I mean, there are some of my favorite shops. I don't know if I want to put links. If you're curious about them, let me know in the comments and I will put the links in my videos. But yeah, I picked these up in store at Barnes and Nobles, and then the other one I picked up at Target, and they have different series. Like this is number 10 or number 28. I think it's number 28. This is the number it's supposed to be, but I'm doing this one first because it's not the Grand Happy Gundam, it's the Strike, but it's more similar to that than the other one looks, so I thought I'd do this one. And yeah, I'm curious what all's involved in it, so let's go open her up and see what's inside. Here is the contents of the box, but actually first, here is the box. The instructions are printed on the inside of the box. That's kind of convenient, saves on money for sure. Now moving down to the parts, this would have been in one half in the one box, and this would have been in the other, but they were all packaged together. As I said, this was in you purchase this in Japanese, you would actually be getting two different things, the frame and then the armor parts. And this is definitely interesting. Not your typical model. It definitely requires assembly, but no cutting out. Probably no glue. Let's see how this will be interesting. Not exactly what I was expecting, but let's go put it together and find out. So we've got this guy all put together here, so to speak. He comes with a stand, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. I was rather surprised about this model. Basically what you got going on here is in Japan they sell two. And show you the box here. One box would come with the frame, and the other one would come with the armor. The weapons and stuff would also be in with the frame, but this is not actually just armor. You have a static frame that comes with this, while this is a posable frame. I'm not sure why they do this. I'll talk more about that later, but the frame actually gets the unmovable frame gets rebuilt into the stand that he's using here. Mostly the main body part. This the part that goes up is actually a separate piece. And all these pieces that are on this lovely backpack were also in with the frame. He looks really good. There are some issues here where they kind of just painted the front. You'll see the shoulders here are nicely painted with the blue outline there. The back half is just plain white. Overall, I mean, it's nice that they painted it, but this could use some panel lining, which is something they don't normally do. But a panel lining would make this practically perfect with the paint job. Now, as far as posability, his head moves plenty, rotates. There's shoulder movement here. Up and down. The pauldrons move a little bit. There's upper arm rotation. There's elbow rotation. There's wrist rotation. Now, on the other side here with the shield does restrict some of the movement in the shoulder, unfortunately. And even the elbow there. Hip. The skirts open up, so you've got plenty of room to move the hips. You can do almost a complete split. If you didn't have the shield in the way, probably pull it off. But he's got plenty of movement there, front. He's got just a little bit in the back because the back panels don't move. The knee joints bend. He's got two points of motion there, so he can do a complete leg cramp, so to speak. Ankle's got ball joints, and on top of that, they've got a little bit another joint in there as well. So there's plenty of side-to-side movement, the front-to-back movement. Now, as far as the waist, there is a little bit of a crunch in there. I think that's just the ball joint. That lets you move around a little bit. But it also rotates, so you got plenty of movement that way, too. And we have movement here on the back. These lower thrusters are on the ball joints. And these top wing pieces here are also on ball joint as well. So he's got plenty of articulation, so you can pull him off. Now he's a little bit on the small side, and I will go grab our RX entry grade and show you his size comparison. Okay, here we have him next to the RX, and this is the entry grade, so it's 1/44 scale. Definitely a bit shorter. Close, but not quite. I mean, what is he? Maybe a 1/50th, 1/60th scale. Just one thing to note about, I was saying about the shield getting in the way of the shoulder there. His shield is the same size. Well, no, it's actually just a teensy bit longer than the RX's shield. Now, I don't know if the shield is too big. I'm not too familiar with this Gundam. I need to get pictures of it and see it compared to its shield. But maybe that's what's causing the problem, is the shield's just a little bit too big. But yeah, it's not going to quite fit in with your 1/44 scale, so it's a little bit smaller. It is very nicely detailed, as you can see, but and for a small model, it's nicely painted as well. Just like I said, could use some panel lining. So let's head back to the desk, give this a final eval. We're back here at the desk, give this guy a final eval and my final thoughts. Before I do that though, I forgot to point out his accessories. He's got the gun here. He's also got a dagger here, but he also has a second dagger. He's got the shield, and I think these were extras that were thrown in, but there are two beam saber hilts. Now there's no place to store them on him, and there's no beams to go with them. So I don't know if they were extras, but kind of useless at the same time. And there's no place to store the extra dagger on him as well. That's why I kind of tossed him back in this plastic bag. But yeah, I want to point that out. And also, there was just a little bit of quality control here. The gun, this hand that's holding the gun, I don't know if they didn't like bore it out. I don't know how they made these hands, but it was very difficult getting that gun in there. Once I got it in there, I was able to loosen it and pull it back out, and it finally fit. The other hand didn't seem to have any problems. It was primarily this hand. I've loosened it up, but just be wary of that. Maybe have a file or something file down the hole or something before you put it on. I don't know if they botched up how it's supposed to be put together or what, but yeah. So overall thoughts, I think this looks really good, but I'm also on another hand, I'm not satisfied with it. I just don't get what these frames things are supposed to be for. They're not your traditional model kits where you pop off parts and then put them on here. And also, they might be different when you buy them in Japan. Like I said, it's usually divided up into 2 boxes, and they're separate. Meanwhile, they're put here in America together. But my biggest thing is, as I showed in the review, you actually get a second frame that is stationary, and that's what the armor comes on. And that's fine, but you have to take the armor off. So you're tearing it apart to put it back on something else. I don't know, it just was not satisfying to me. And I don't get it. Like, just send us the loose armor and give us the posable frame and put it on. Now, I could see them not having us assemble the frame, because it is a very kind of dainty looking thing. And it looked, just playing with it, it's very posable, but it's kind of scary. How small it is, and I don't know how well it would go together. They managed to assemble it there, you know, the manufacturer or whatever. I'm not sure how they do it, but yeah, it's already pre-assembled, so you don't have to do that. And yeah, I wasn't satisfied when I got done with it for building something. I mean, does it look good? Yeah, it looks good. There is some little bit fact that they don't paint the back half of it, like the shoulder pads. The paint's only on the front, not the back. They got a little bit of corners there, but there is some nice painting overall on all of this. And typical, it needs panel lining. That's not really a big deal. Some of the seams there aren't a lot of seams showing. Pulling it apart and putting it together, that's one problem I had with pulling it apart. I couldn't find the seams to know where to even pull it apart from. They're hidden, which on one hand is good, but when you got to pull it apart, it's kind of on the harder side. Yeah, so the overall appearance, I thought it was good. Posability is great. The only limitation is this shield, which might be a little bit too big for this design, and I don't know. I still need to. This is, I think, from Gundam Seed, the Strike Gundam. I'm not sure, but I have not seen it yet. Whichever Gundam this is from, I've not seen it to know, you know, to get a better idea of how this works. And it might just be, yeah, I don't know if it's a size issue or something else, but the shoulder and the armor conflict with one another. Now, difficulty, it's actually harder. It's definitely harder than an entry grade, harder than an SD kit. I haven't quite put I haven't put a new 140 or a high grade together yet. And I don't know if it's more difficult than that. I just found it difficult pulling the parts apart. Like I said, I talked about that already. So it was a little bit on the difficult side for that reason. I know it's kind of a strange reason, but you'd have to put this together really to understand it. Just saying it's a little bit harder because you have to pull the thing apart before you can assemble it onto the main frame. Now the overall design, it's good. Like I said, the design around the seams was good. It just also made it hard pulling it apart. Anyways, as far as giving this a finally valid grade, I gave it a 9, which I guess it does deserve it. There's some good stuff in here. Oh, and along with the design, it's nice how nice design strategy or whatever, making use of that other frame to build this base that you see here, and that was pretty neat. But yeah, I gave it a 9, and overall, the overall looks and appeal of it, it's okay. I personally won't be buying another one of these. I do have another one which we'll look at. I'm not going to get rid of it or anything. But the building experience was not satisfying for me. What I like to build a model, I'd rather put an SD kit together or an entry grade. Definitely the entry grades, but an SD kit, I'd rather put that together than this. And I won't be buying any more of these unless I come across one that is one of my favorite mechs designs, one of my favorite Gundam designs. Like my favorite ones are the Barbatos, the red frame, Astray red frame, and Gundam Wing. I like those, though. As far as model kits, I'll put any of them together. But yeah, when it comes to these, unless one of my favorites pops up for some reason, I find it, I'm not going to be probably picking up any of those. So let me know what you guys think down below in the description. And in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. You don't get to write in the description. I write in the description. But yeah, let me know down there what you guys think of these frame kits. I mean, overall they look nice. I just not satisfied. The building, it just doesn't do it for me. And they're also, they don't match the scale with the 1/44th. They're a little bit smaller than that. So it's like, they're not going to look good if you got a large collection of those and you throw this in there. I mean, these are fine. Throw them on your, put them on your desk for show and whatever. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan, so. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to see more, and hit the notification bell. But also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I have links down below there. You'll get notifications faster than YouTube. And, yeah, that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station. Reminding you that creativity is key.